Yeah, I mean,
So
I think there was a. Sorry to interrupt you, Jay. There was a
no, it's
case.
okay.
There was a case. I think a few months ago where apparently a British kid had used the credit card on Xbox Live, and I guess because the security there isn't that great. I mean, once you put the card on there, it's there. Some kind of hacker broke in, or not the hacker. That's my fault. The kid ended up using it so much that the family went completely, like, they had to lose their home. They lost everything, and I don't know if PSN has the same system exactly. I don't play my PlayStation 3 nearly as much, but that's just an interest. It's just the point that, kids, they think that they see these things, and to them it's like, oh my God, I got to have it, especially early on. And I think that's an interesting. Maybe that's part of the reason why Microsoft and Sony and even Nintendo might be saying, okay, well, we can sort of manipulate some things, make it seem all cool and have parents put the credit cards on, and the kids will just use them, and we won't have a security thing really, and at least until someone tries to sue them. But so I mean, yeah, I definitely agree with you. It's going to mean that retro gaming prices will go up, and I think also GameStop obviously is going to be gone, and all these other third-party stores that sell games. So I mean, yeah, I definitely agree. It's an interesting topic, and I mean. It'll be interesting to see over the next 5 years or the next generation particularly, are they going to stick with hard copies, or are they going to say, hey, we have a real opportunity here to strike the market, all right, so my next question for you, Jason, is when you consider 3 kilobytes and the fact that I understand that you do spend a lot of money for the show. You spend it for video games, movies. I'm not sure if this is correct, but don't you trade in a lot of your games, even the new ones you buy, to buy the newest games?
Yeah, I mean, people think we keep all the games, but I literally have one game here right now, Soul Calibur 5.
Yeah, I've been playing that too. So far, kind of disappointing. But anyways, look for my review, by the way, guys, hopefully at the end of the week. But anyways, so my next question then is that for someone like I said, who's maybe my age, I'm 17, and unfortunately, I have to focus on so many different things besides video games and movies. Obviously, I still have school to work on, and, considering the money situation, you guys, I understand that trading in games could eventually just get you the money you need, but was there ever a time maybe where you, had a situation where you just didn't have the money to pick up a certain game, and you were panicking, like, oh my God, what are we going to do? Our viewers are expecting this. I know the fans helped you pay for the 3DS, but was there any other situation kind of like, uh-oh, we're in trouble?
Yeah, well, I mean, that happens every month.
Right.
So it's, there's behind the scenes, there's a lot that happens there's tons. That happens almost, PS Vita is coming out, and right now we're not doing it because we can't get it. So it's that simple. But, I mean, the audience has helped us so much. I put up this note about donations and YouTube. I don't know if you read that.
Oh, yes, I did see it, yes.
Yeah, and I was just basically talking about how PBS works on television and how the times have changed, and we get a lot of flack for asking for help once in a while. But I think my final stance on donations and whatnot is, if you are going to support something that's entertainment, entertainment is definitely not free. And if you're going to support something, then we definitely appreciate it. So in terms of those moments when we're in trouble, I usually sell stuff that we've had in the past, or we have a sponsor, so we've been lucky enough to be able to not worry about the video game situation. Some just in the past, we would have to sell everything, basically. Yeah. So we'd this is how it would work. Say last year, as you know, was the most ridiculous year for video games.
Oh, yeah.
So every week we'd have to do 2 video games, so that would be about $120. And then you trade them in, and they're worthless. Yeah. We get $30 each. So now we're down 50% in our money. So we have to put another 50% in, and that's where the money, that's where we lose money, obviously. But I'm not complaining about it. I mean, we decided to do a show that costs a lot of money, so now we're lucky enough to, I don't have to worry about that. So a game comes out, I just go and get it, and then give it back when I'm done with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
I guess that's okay. The other part would be once you're at a certain stage, you can contact publishers. And I know it seems like, oh, I'm not going to get games from huge companies like that. I just have this little channel. But believe it or not, it works. You can contact. You need to have the right connections. You need to look into the right sources. You need to know the right people to get those games. But it's not as hard as you would think it is. It's anybody could get the game.
Right.
Just saying, I have a review show. Can I review your game? You just have to know where to go. A lot of people don't know how to do that yet.
Yeah, definitely. I will honestly speak about the fact that even though 3 kilobytes doesn't have, like, you mentioned earlier in the show, Video Games Awesome. They have, I'm not even sure, I think they have, I believe, like 60,000 subs. You guys have 25,000. Now, I saw your stream with, I guess it wasn't a stream. I saw, like, your half-an-hour-long video with Gun Shop, and one of the points that I thought that was interesting you guys brought up was when you express opinion, and you guys had mentioned that you think that if you guys, like, if you three were there, if it was just Kat with her good looks, Mike with his good looks, and you with your good looks, just basically saying, here's a game, this is what it does. Even though it would sound boring to a ton of people, there would be so many other people that'd be like, oh my god, these people are so reliable, I'm going to sub to them. And maybe, you get more subs because of that. But at the same time, I was thinking about that, and I thought, like, what's the fun in that then, right? I mean, because, for example, throughout my life, I've always wanted to express my opinions to anything, basically. I mean, I used to go insane about it, and every time I get pissed about something, angry, or happy about something, my mother often is just like, oh, Josh, I don't, I get it, I'm sick of you mentioning this thing over and over, and I'm like, but I can't help it, I need to get it out. And when you use YouTube, I found out that it's so, like, it's something that you're holding in, and you let it out, and you feel so much better about it. If you're just this person who's there like a robot, I don't understand why people would be just okay with that. I understand they would think it's reliable, but then what's the fun in it, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's channels that, I can't name names, but definitely there's channels that I don't understand how they have that many subscribers. But, I mean, you must be doing something right to get that many subscribers. So, I mean, I think that people see the channel and they think that we're just immature people, saying pee-pee and poo-poo jokes.
Yeah.
Which that is what it is. But if you actually would, we actually put a lot of effort into it. But not only that, if you're our first episode all the way to the 300th episode, you would see that there's been little hints and jokes and just sort of really, you have to really look for them because we don't mention these things, but there's a lot of stuff that we put into the show for people who only watch the show, you know what I mean, that actually watch every episode.
Yeah,
so,
that's something I think about it. That's totally true. You see some of your intros, maybe some of your little jokes in the middle of the videos, and for people who haven't watching, they'll go like, "What the hell? Like, why is that funny?" And then there'll be people who watch your show, like I have, and I'll be like, "Oh my god, that's like from this video." That's brilliant. You know what I'm saying?